everyone, and welcome back to StoryCraft. My name is Miss Rebecca, and today I will be doing a craft as well as reading you a book. And like last week, it is still May, which means that it is still Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. So I will be reading a book by a Vietnamese author. So this is My Footprints, written by Bao Phi, illustrated by Basia Tran. And I do apologize, I do not speak Vietnamese, so if I pronounce anything incorrectly, I do apologize. This is My Footprints. Thuy sees those kids laughing at her again. She stomps away from school. The crisp, white blanket of new snow cracks like eggshells beneath her feet. She looks behind her and sees her jagged footprints. Footprints, she says, my footprints. Thuy stops. She looks up at the branches that reach like gloved fingers into the sky and sees a red cardinal. Where are your friends? Thuy asks. Don't you fly south with the rest of the birds? The cardinal doesn't answer. Maybe he doesn't feel like talking right now, Thuy thinks. The little bird could fly away into the giant pane of sky if it felt in danger. Thuy points her feet in a V shape and hops once, lightly, leaving shallow prints. She stops and draws a line through the middle of each V to make a third claw. Chirp, chirp, chirp! Thuy squeaks and flaps her arms. Almost home. The houses grow closer together. She can't read the bubbly words of graffiti on the train cars, but she thinks they are beautiful. She remembers how she saw a deer here once, how out of place it looked, but she knew its family must have been close. My footprints, Thuy whispers. She tiptoes in small loops, dipping the tips of her boots deep into the snow like dainty hooves, wanting to feel peaceful, quiet, left alone. Mama Nyo and Mama Arti smile at Thuy when she gets home. Thuy knows they are both tired from work, but their smiles feel like a heater that warms Thuy's snow-wet toes. How was school, sweetie? Mama Nyo asks. Thuy doesn't want to answer that question. Instead, she asks, do snakes have butts? What? Mama Arti laughs. Thuy laughs at first too, then frowns. She feels like a sudden snowstorm. Are you okay? Mama Nyo asks. I don't want to talk about it, Thuy shouts. As she shuffles away, leaving tracks like a snake slithering through the snow, she hears her mama's talking. Mama Arti's voice sounds frayed but warm, like Thuy's favorite blanket. Thuy runs a stick along a fence that's missing 2 teeth like she is. She makes more footprints, this time running faster so they are further apart. Quick, quick, quick! My footprints, Thuy pants. She is a spotted leopard that can blend into its surroundings and disappear if it's threatened. Meow, Thuy screeches, though that doesn't seem quite right. My footprints, Thuy says, stomping deep into the snow. She looks behind her and sees a grizzly bear's paw prints. Strong and brave, a bear stands up for itself. Other animals are afraid to make fun of it. Roar! Thuy growls, baring her teeth. Mama Arti and Mama Nyo come out into the tiny snowy backyard polka dotted by Thuy's footprints. What is the strongest animal? Thuy asks. Mama Arti thinks, then says, there are lots of different ways to be strong. An eagle is strong at flying in the sky. A dolphin is strong at swimming in the sea. And what do you think? Mama Nyo asks Thuy. Maybe a dragon, Thuy says. She imagines one with googly eyes and a long body and whiskers fluttering like a flag among the clouds. But she can't imagine its footprints. Maybe it doesn't have any feet. How about an elephant, Mama Arti suggests. Thuy puts both her feet together like an elephant hoof and stomps one big hole in the deep snow. She wishes she could make 4 all at once. I want to be the biggest and strongest and scariest monster, Twee says, so that if kids at school make fun of me for having 2 moms, or tell me to go back where I come from, or call me names, or bother me because I'm a girl, I can make them stop. Can we play with you? asks Mama Nyo. Yes, Twee says. Let's make footprints. Mama Nyo says, I wonder what creature we can pretend to be together, because we're stronger together. What's your favorite? Twee asks her. The phoenix, Mama Nyo says. Twee sees their shadows curl into long blue feathers. Rise from the ashes, she shouts, remembering a story about the powerful creature. The 3 of them hold hands with Twee in the middle, then spread their arms wide so that together their shadows form a great wingspan. And what's your favorite, Mama? Twee asks Mama Arti. Do you remember the painting I showed you once of the Saraba? Mama Arti asks. Part lion, part bird, Twee says. The 3 of them get in line, hands on hips, and they become the fearless, many-legged creature. An unexpected combination of beautiful things, Twee yells as their Saraba marches through the snow. What's your favorite, Mama Arti asks Twee. I want to make one up, Twee says. It can fly and swim and run, and it is always kind to everyone else and only eats birthday cake. What does it look like? Mama Nyo asks. It has black hair and black eyes. It's both a boy and a girl, and its skin keeps changing color from black to light brown to lighter and back to black. Not to hide, but because it always wants to be different shades of pretty, and it never hurts or makes fun of anyone. That sounds like my new favorite creature, Mama Arti says, her laughter a warm bubble. What's its name? Its name is Snakebutt, Twee says, then changes her mind. No, it's Arti Twee Nyosaurus. As the 3 of them hold hands, they make footprints together. The footprints of the rare and beautiful and strong and brave and quick and quiet Arti Twee Nyosaurus in the fine cold snow. Twee starts to chant, our footprints, our footprints. And this gives some information about the phoenix and the saraba, which are both really interesting creatures. And that was my footprints.
And welcome to the craft part of our StoryCraft. So just as Twee followed in the footprints of various creatures, today we will be making a creature out of our footprint. And this creature is a penguin. All you need for this craft is a piece of printer paper, a pencil, and something to color with. Here I chose markers, but you can use paints or watercolors or colored pencils, whatever you like, and they can be whatever colors you like as well. And of course, the last thing you need is your foot. As you can see, here is my socked foot. You can trace your foot, or you can trace your shoe or a slipper or something, anything that is in the shape of your foot. And so I'm just going to take my pencil and I'm going to trace the outline of my foot on the piece of paper. And I'm keeping it mostly centered, but you can put it wherever you like. It's just going to be the outline of the body of the penguin. And so now that that's done, I'm just cleaning up my edges a little bit, erasing any mistakes. When I first made the one on the right here, I did make a little mistake, but look how cute the mistake is because it looks like he's got a little piece of hair poking up. So if you want to leave your mistakes, that's fine too. And now I'm just going to draw the shape of the penguin's face. And so you can just follow along with the shape that I'm making here. It's going to be a little outline to his eyes and his nose and around his face. Once you got that drawn on, you can erase any mistakes that you've made. And then draw in the little nose section. And the last things to draw in are your penguin's wings. So one on the left and one on the right. And then his little feet. So I just kind of went with the shape of where my toes were. So your feet can look totally different if you want them to. This is just what I went for my feet. And now we get to start to color. So I chose black, gray, and blue for the colors of my penguin and the background. But if you want to make your penguin rainbow colors, you go ahead and make it whatever color you want. But my penguin here, I'm tracing around the edges of the face with the black. And I already drew in the little eyes. I just made 2 little dots for my penguin's eyes. Now I'm tracing around the head to get the black part of my penguin's head. And just take your time. It doesn't have to be perfect. As you can see, both my penguins are a little bit different, and that's totally fine. Just like you're different from other people, each penguin can be different as well. And now I'm just going to color in the black space. Alrighty, now just a little bit of black left. I chose to make my penguin's feet black, so I'm just going to outline it just like I did with the face and then color it in. Okie dokie, now I'm done with the black, and so I'm going to move on to the gray. The gray I chose for my penguin's nose, so I'm going to color in the nose first, just a little nosy. And then I'm going to color in my penguin's wings. And I decided to color them in separately like this, even though they are kind of attached to my penguin's body, just so you can get a more clear distinction between the body and the wings. So you can kind of see in the one on the right how I did the wings separately and how they look like they're separate too, just by the way I colored them in. So for the last part of the penguin, I am just outlining the rest of my penguin's body and coloring it in with the gray. Sadly, my gray marker was starting to run out of ink here, so it looks a little bit streaky, but that's okay. And like I said before, you can use whatever colors you have with you at home, or any color that you want to make your penguin. And there we go. My penguin is colored in. And so the last color I used was the blue, just to make the snow. So I'm just sort of drawing in the snow that my penguin is standing on and kind of just coloring it in a little bit, giving it some texture. And whoops, I wrote on the table a little bit there. Probably should have put something down to cover it. So I do recommend putting something down just in case you get some marker on the table. But thankfully my table is nice and smooth and it wiped right up with my finger. And lastly, I'm just putting some dots to make it look like it's snowing behind my penguin. And that's it. Your penguin is done. I hope you enjoyed this StoryCraft, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.